Standing on the top now. No, nothing can move you.
Well, good day, good day. Welcome to another episode of the Bobby Brown Show on the GO, hosted by myself, Robert Bob TV Brown. It is 3:58 p.m. It is May 17, 2021. And I want to thank my good friend Rico for sending me this article about Amanda Seales. Yeah, Amanda Seales catches the vapors. Yep, Amanda Seales admits to getting the vapors from Kamala Harris. Now, this is the season, as Biz Marquis eloquently said, this is the season for catching the vapors. This is the season for catching the vapors. What I mean about that, so many of you have went so hard to promote these candidates. Yet these candidates are not doing anything to promote you. Now, I get it. You know, Trump was a disaster and Trump needed to go. And I get it. Some of you fell for bad guy, good cop, bad cop. Now I understand both of them are cops. And the reason they're there is not for your innocence, but to prove that you were involved because they got numbers to pop up. They got a quota. They got to meet a quota. They got to appease you to get the information out of you. And they'll do whatever they can, give you all kind of plea bargains or whatever, just to get this information out. A lot of people going to be going through that. You got, right now, Stacey Abrams, bodyguard hard to get to Georgia. Should have been handed, and should have been handed the DNC position, chair position. She ain't get it. What's going on with her? What happened to her? She helped them get the House and Senate, as they say. But what happened with her? We just talked about Simone Sanders, fullback for the Minnesota Vikings, knocking people down in order to cover up for Joe Biden. But yet Joe Biden didn't even Joe Biden didn't think she was good enough to be the White House press secretary. But you're good enough to be be my campaign press secretary because I need you to help string along those black votes. But after you got power now, where is Simone Sanders? Man, she's way down at the bottom of the totem pole of the Kamala Harris administration, not having that spotlight that she so desired and demanded. Roland Martin, catching the vapors. Now we got Amanda Seales. Now, Amanda Seales, you probably know her from the group Floetry. She's of Floetry fame and fortune. Singer, actor, producer. Graduated from University of New York, bachelor's degree, went to Columbia University, MA. I can't take this away from her. She's a very talented musician. Decent actress, but even more of a bad actor. And when I mean a bad actor, this is when you think people are really on the side of empowering their own community when they actually not on the side of empowering their community. She played in an HBO series Insecure. She was on the talk show The Real. I'm going to talk about her for a second. And it's important to talk about her because she was one of the ones that are mouthing off her mouth about people like me, talking about we need to push these politicians to bend the knee to the number one political strength, the most valuable political block in politics today, and that's the black community. And the proof is put, I'm not dissing your community. I mean, your community is your community, not dissing you, but it's just a fact that black people vote for the Democratic Party more than anybody. And Republicans know that, so they want to try to use that to make us to try to shame us into going to join them. No, black folks ain't going for y'all either. Black folks should not be going for any party, period. They should be building their own block, securing that block, and forcing these parties to come to them in order to get that 80 to 90% vote. It's time out for 80%, 90% vote for any political party without them making a deal with the community. Now, Amanda Seales was one of them ones who mocked people for actually demanding and commanding something in return for a vote. Acting and demanding something in return for a vote. Every other community does it. But you get black people like her. And she is black. Her mother is from the Grenadiers, and her dad is an ADOS, I believe. But it seems like a lot of people, I mean, we got a lot of ADOS advocates, or whatever you want to call them, foundational black, or however you want to call it. We got a lot of immigrants that do support us. But there's a few who came here and they just bought into that, that we are claiming victims, that we're victims, and we're complaining and we shouldn't complain. Bruh, this ain't got nothing to do with complaint. A man whose mother got ran over by a truck, when he demand restitution and repercussions, that ain't a victim mentality. He deserves that. We're going to get an Amanda Seales for a second. Now, I usually don't come up here during the day. I have the show on Wednesdays and Sundays. But occasionally I'm going to be doing the Rob Report. Not the Rob Report on the go, but the Bobby Brown. The Rob Report is dead. I'm going to leave that to Robbie over there on MS and Me Casa Su Casa Network and let him take that. My name is Robert Brown, better known as Bobby Brown. I'm still Bob TV, and this is the Bobby Brown Show on the go. And I have to deal with issues like that because you're going to find more people that's going to be having the vapors. They went out and they did whatever they could, tried to shame people like me, tried to shame people like, people from the grassroots, people who actually want to see things done and know exactly what it takes to get things done. We get mocked because we got to get this person out. No, you fell for let's get this person out. No matter what, we shouldn't say anything about anything that's going to cause our guy to not get this other guy out of office. I don't care who's in office. I'm coming at you with the most determined needs in the black community. Here, I mean, look, let me see if I can do a little something up here concerning this. All right, so this is her Amanda Seales website. Nice looking website. She over there looking all Afrocentric. Fred Hampton said, you can wear all the dashikis in the world. That don't make you black. That don't give you the heart of a black person wearing a dashiki. Now, don't get me wrong. I wear dashiki. I wear African colors just as much as any man. I just don't flaunt it. But that don't make you blacker than black. She got a sign say Illustrious League of Master Black Spurts. In other words, I guess she wants to be in the league of black experts. Now I see she got a picture of a few of our black leaders in the background. And she got a bookstore, promoting herself, doing her thing. Stop being a Karen. Get your anti-Karen task force merch. So she's trying to profit off the black empowerment movement. Now she got a podcast, is on Spotify, Stitcher. Good for you, black sister. She's promoting herself. Nothing wrong with that. But I don't believe you should promote yourself at the expense of your community. Well, recently, April 29th, I guess is the date, 7:53 p.m. on Twitter, she had something to say. This was dumb and embarrassing. Vice President Kamala Harris responded to Senator Tim Scott's statement that America is not a racist country. She said, I don't think America is a racist country, but we also do have to speak to the truth about history of racism in our country in existence today. Now, how are you going to speak out of both sides of your mouth, Kamala Harris, to say, I don't think America is a racist country, but we have to speak about the history of racism in our country in its existence today? Today.
Believe that we need to address, well, first of all, no, I don't think America is a racist country, but we also do have.
She said the same thing that Tim Scott said. But everybody want to dump on Tim Scott, and he's worth dumping on. Dump away. I don't care what you dump on Tim Scott, dump away, because that was stupid. That was foolishness for him to say. How can you say that you're being singled out as a black man in your own home state of South Carolina, but America's not a racist country? Problem is, most people have no clue what racism is. They got this idea of what white history painted what racism is, and they believe white history version of racism and don't really know what racism is. A lot of them don't know what white supremacy is. Too many people, look, even myself, I had to go through a deep dive study into finding out how this stuff works and what it really is. It's not a natural thing that you're going to understand the difference between racism and white supremacy. You got to do some deep dive study into the subject itself in order to get a clear view. You can't buy the media view. You can't buy a politician's view. You can't buy your mama or daddy view. You got to go a deep dive and find out for yourself. Now, she said this was dumb and embarrassing. Now, here we are. We got the vice president who everybody wants to say a black woman, and I can't go with that. I'm sorry. ADOS 101. I'm sorry. Tone, talk. And don't get me wrong, I watch Tone. I can't give her that. Barack Obama at least had a blacker than a black, half black daddy, and a whiter than white, half whiter than white. Let me say this again. Barack Obama had a blacker than black daddy from Kenya. He had a full-blown whiter than white mother from Kansas. In other words, he's half black, he's white, he's biracial. He's biracial. Kamala Harris ain't biracial. Kamala Harris is half Indian. High society Indian. Her family come from high society Indian, a demographic of Indians that look down on dark-skinned Indians and dark-skinned people. She was raised up under that. Her dad is from Jamaica, but her dad is not 100% black. But we assume all Jamaicans black. Man, Jamaica is just a country. Stop. She never grew up. She probably had a good early years up to 5 years old in Berkeley, California, which not now, hardly black. Berkeley, California. She grew up in that. The moment her and her dad and her mom got in whatever issue that caused them to get a divorce, she packed her bags and moved her up to Canada, and she grew up in the Indian neighborhood. She didn't taste black life until she got to Howard University, and she got there on the fact that she's coming in as from another country. And she's going to say the same thing as Tim Scott said, but nobody says nothing about that. She's going to say the same. Joe Biden going to say that. Nobody going to say nothing about that. But they shoot the gun at Tim Scott, and the gun of opinion. They dump on Tim Scott, but don't want to dump on. But yet there are black people who did say, hey, this is just embarrassing. This is dumb. Here she is, Amanda Seals, a woman who caped hard for the Democratic Party, told black people who was demanding something in exchange for their vote that they need to be quiet.
To speak truth about the history of racism in our country and its existence today. And I believe that we need to address, well, first of all, no, I don't think America is a racist country, but we also do.
She don't think America is a racist country. Where in the heck you been? Oh, I know where you been. You grew up in Canada in a pretty much protected area because of your family. You can easily look Indian. You can easily look Indian as a child. Heck, you can easily look Indian right now. You found your sisterhood when you went down to Howard University, and then you saw a history of racism and bigotry in California yourself as attorney general, as prosecutor, as district attorney. Heck, you help enforce it, covering up for racist cops. Now, let me get off Kamala Harris and let's get back on Amanda Seals, because this is what Amanda Seals had to say. This is from Atlanta Black Star. Amanda Seals says she embarrassed everyone who supported her, and y'all should be embarrassed. See, I'm not embarrassed because I didn't support her, because I looked at her record way ahead of time. I was looking at her record before she became a senator. I knew about the things that she did. The whole point of of the crimes that was going on in California, especially Central California, she were in the middle of those, trying to protect her police who were overreaching. Amanda Seals hits back at Vice President Kamala Harris for saying America isn't racist. Oh, you want to hit back? As if she hit you. Oh yeah, I guess she did hit you because you went all in concerning her. And here's what I'm talking about. Amanda Seals tells new black followers Black America should stop talking about reparations and Biden's crime bill. See, folks wanted to get Trump so bad, they're trying to tell the black community, shut up. Stop talking about that. You need to stop, because you're gonna make Biden look bad and Trump's gonna win again. You know, if you follow me, I had to deal with that heat. And I was ready to deal with it. I'd take it on the chin because I knew I was right. You don't ever give your support, give your energy, or give your effort, or give your allegiance to somebody who ain't really showed allegiance to you. I mean, it's either gonna be one way. Either my girl is a slut and I like sluts, and I don't mind her being slutty, or I want to commit a relationship with a woman who just want to be with one man. The choice is yours. It's your choice. It's not her choice. If you knew she was a slut before then, and you liked that, and you were kind of slutty yourself, I know, Rob, you say, Rob, what's up with these examples, man? I'm just telling you like it is, because I want to be plain. If you know you did not want to be in a committed relationship and you love sleeping around with different type of women, why are you trying to get with somebody who wants to be in a committed relationship? That's not going to work. You need to find somebody who's just as aggressively sexually as you are. You'll have a better relationship. You know you don't want to be committed to one woman. You know you like having multiple women, and women the same way. Why are you going to be with a man who wants you and only you? You're going to waste his energy and time. And that's how it was in this election. You have no commitment to the black community. You haven't shown anything. All you do is continue to lead us to a carrot dangling in front of a horse, but you never really put down in concrete the things that the black community say they wanted you to do for them. Don't come up with what you want to do for us. Let us tell you what we need to be done, and then you put it in your platform. Well, she was one of those ones say, shut up. That's just a nice way of saying black Americans should stop talking about reparation and Biden crime bill. Who in the heaven and hell are you to tell the black community to shut up, all because you want to get rid of Trump? This ain't got nothing to do with Trump, and it ain't got nothing to do with Joe Biden. We're putting somebody in a position of power. And if you want it, you come into the number one voting block of all times, where we vote in huge numbers, we get out to vote. And now you got some new black followers who recognize the power position that we have. We recognize who have the leverage. When you realize you got leverage, you don't be no dumb person and don't use your leverage to get what you need. You use your leverage to get what you need. That is a smart strategist. Then you got dumb folks like this. She sounds just like the black person on the plantation. Oh, you talking about revolting against master? You better be quiet. You better be quiet. You talking about leaving? You better be quiet. You better not say that around. You better not say that around here. Master Jacob gonna get all of us. Master Jacob gonna get all of us, and then he gonna sell us to a horrible, worse master. He's a good master. What you talking about? They still slave owners. With that smile on her face. About last night. I don't want to hear no more SHIT about reparations, black agenda. Kamala Harris is AG, the 94 crime bill. We got to get focused on the now. Get orange out of here. Vote for us. Well, if you go look at AG Kamala Harris and you go look at the 94 crime bill, you realize even though Trump is a horrible choice to be president for a second term, they are not a good choice to be president for the first term. And it's not like we were telling you, it's not like we're telling you to vote for Trump. None of us was talking about voting for Trump. We just was putting ourselves in a position to demand changes for the wrong you did previously going forward in the future. But no, folks like her didn't want to do that. Folks like her want to say, shh, be quiet. Don't let Master Jacob know about this. No, Master Jacob is a horrible master. We need to go. TV personality and ex-The Real host Amanda Seale got riled up by the first presidential candidate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, apparently feeling the need to get undecided black voters to vote for Biden. She urged them to shelf his issue over reparation 94 crime bill. Look, nobody who is, and see, this is the thing about it, wasn't undecided. There's a lot of black people who made a decision. If you make a commitment to make your wrongs right, you can get my vote. If you don't, neither one of you get my vote. Neither one of you. That's not an undecided voter. That's a very decided voter. I don't want to hear no more SHIT about reparation, black agenda, Kamala Harris. See, these people were so scared, so fearful that they were willing to not put any kind of pressure to get something done for the black community. We got to get orange out of here. We got to get rid of Trump. Well, of course, this did not sit well with many on Twitter. Somebody said, come get your girl. Understand that Amanda Seale made this spineless, vapid ASS statement within the same 24-hour period as California Governor Newsom signed a reparation bill that affects the fifth largest economy on the planet. You need to shut up forever. On September the 30th, California became the first state in the country to adopt a law to study and develop proposal for potential reparations to descendants of enslaved people and those impacted by slavery, the Los Angeles Times report. Now, you know me, I got my problem. We don't need no studies on this subject. Ain't nobody studied about reparations for Japanese, reparations for the Jewish people, reparation for even Indians, reparation for even white people. Nobody studied it. There was no commission. See, I got to hear people who I know and love talking about, well, we got to study it. We got a commission. Stop that. And if you got to study, why you ain't done it 40, 50 years ago? This is an issue over 400 years. And now you want to study? SEALs have been targeted by ADOS before. ADOS co-founder Yvette Carnell has been particularly upset with the actress. In the late Carnell post 2 hours YouTube video entitled Amanda Seales Gets Everything Wrong About America. And Yvette was right about Amanda Seales. Carnell video prompted by Video Seals posted about her right to speak for the black community, for the black American cause. Well, there's not one person who's in a position to speak for the black community. See, when there's an agenda and when there's a code, there is no speaker. The code is the speaker. The code is the leader. The problem with us is we put our faith and confidence in a leader, and as soon as they got snuffed out, we got scattered. No, there's no leader in this movement. There's a code. Now, Carnell went off. According to Carnell, because Seals related to her mother as Grenadian heritage, Seals prefers the immigration experience over the native black American experience. Now, you do have some people of immigration status that come to this country and want to tell us to shut up about reparations, like the brother over there in Minnesota. Talking about his first thing he want to do is he want to pull the history of slavery out of the history books. Well, you going right along with white supremacy, bro. No, this country need to know how horrible it was. If you don't remember your past, you're destined to repeat it in the future. Heck, you got some native blacks think that way. While Seals was born in the United States, she often referred to herself as a Grenadian American. Her father is African American, and she has dual citizenship with Grenada, the birth home of her mother. Carnell says Seals take sides. You don't have to define yourself as a Grenadian American. It matters in the context of your anchoring. Why are you anchoring yourself in Grenada? Why are you anchoring yourself in something other than African American? You have two parents, but you're going back to Grenada. Now I can go on and continue to read this, but I'm not, okay? Now, this is what Amanda Seales said about Kamala Harris. Now, let me get myself back up here and talk to you, okay? I love my black immigrants. There's some black immigrants that understand the plight of slavery. They had to deal with it in their own country. Shout out to the countries who overturned white supremacy. Shout out to countries who made a demand for reparation from the countries that enslaved them, whether it was France, whether it was New England, whatever. They're making a demand for it. But shots down to those who think we shouldn't have the right to do the same thing to those who did us like that. And shot down to those who are by status, Jamaican American, Grenadian American. My lady friend, she's from St. Vincent. Shout outs to them. Who do support reparations, who do support the blacks who've been enslaved by the U.S. government and a lot of time funded by the England government, who's been at the foundation of just about every oppression in the world. who were the fathers of colonizing. Shout outs to them who pushing back on fools like this. A lot of our great leaders were not both descendants of American slaves. Some of them have half in them, some don't have none at all, but they still stood up for the right cause. And when you got somebody like this want to say something like this because they want to make sure another low-key, not as loud in your face, white supremacists take over the presidency. Because that's just what Joe Biden is. Now, he's a little older in age. He's not aggressive as he was back in the 90s, thank God. But let me tell you something. If you had Joe Biden in the 93 version of Joe Biden, that's Trump Jr. Matter of fact, probably would have been a little bit worse than Trump. Trump is not smart enough to legislate. But Joe Biden is. And you got this lady around here so aggressively want to remove Trump. And like I said, I get it. We all been in that position. But you ain't got a kid just roll over and give over your leverage to a political party all to get this person out. No. You want this person out, then you're going to have to bend our knee. Don't think that I don't want this person out. I want this person out, but I don't necessarily want you in either. And don't think I got to make that choice, because I ain't got to make no choice. And if I do make a choice, I want something for it. And I aggressively want something for it. Then you got people like this chick. Yeah, I said chick. Want to aggregate that. Well, she got the vapors. Because she did all this bodyguard burning black people who are demanding something for their vote, which they should do. Every other nation does. Now, Kamala Harris says something like that. She's a little upset. Those familiar with actress and social justice activist Amanda Seales. Yeah, right. How? No, she presents herself as having zero tolerance policies for minimizing topics of well-beings of blacks and brown bodies of America. Here we go. Amanda Seales, your first allegiance, if you're black, should be black. Not saying you be a black supremacist and don't think all colors are not important. There aren't. But when it comes to you getting a position in society, you have a position to stand for. White society is not going to allow themselves to be in the back burner in order for everybody else. They're going to make sure they got a secure position for their community, and they should. Asians should do it, and they do. She has zero tolerance. Who in the heck is she? When it comes to the subject of racism, Seales tell it how she thinks it is approached. So do we all. And applies to anyone regardless of status. Well, you wasn't doing that when you sat there and said this crap. When you sat there and said this, new black followers, Black America should stop talking about reparations and Biden's crime bill. Where was she? So it came no surprise when Vice President Kamala Harris agrees with the only black Republican in the Senate. Well, that ain't just Kamala Harris. There's a lot of black people in the CBC will say the same thing, including James Clyburn. This was Joe Biden's first address to the Congress. Seales had much to say. Following Biden's speech on Wednesday, April 28, Scott claimed that America was not a racist country, setting some quarters of social media ablaze. Yeah, he said that, and he should be burnt for that. But she sat there and said the same thing. Joe Biden believed the same thing. A lot of your political leaders believe that America is not a racist country. But then they say, but we do still need to deal with systematic racism. You can't make up your mind. Either America racist or not. Because if there's systematic racism going on in this country, then this country is still racist and it need to be toppled. I'm over there in Columbus Square by, you know, me and my lady friend, we over there by Trump Towers, Columbus Square. They got that whole statue surrounded by police. Now, I already told you, these monuments are nothing but markers of white supremacy. It's there to remind you that we dominated this country. We rule. Let me continue with this. Okay, so everybody on some bull S. Cool. Seals began her fiery post she uploaded to her Instagram page on Saturday, May 1st. That was dumb and embarrassing. She embarrassed everyone who supported her. Well, you supported her. Are you embarrassed? That was dumb and embarrassing. She embarrassed everyone who supported her. In other words, she feel like Kamala Harris burnt her. That Kamala Harris embarrassed her. Why are you embarrassed? When the Black Grass Movement been telling you about her ever since she ran for senator. Why are you embarrassed? Don't get embarrassed now. We knew that she was going to embarrass you. Heck, the moment she said, I ain't going to just do things for nothing for just black people. Now, when she said that, that was an embarrassment. But yet she turned around and pushed policies for Pacific Asians. Push hard for the Equality Act. But I ain't gonna do nothing for black people now. Her talking about, look, I smoked a little weed. But yeah, she locked up more people for weed in California than anybody. My family's Jamaican. Her daddy had to scorn her on that. Her daddy. That was embarrassing to you? In the caption, nearly 30-second clip, the Insecure Start wrote, DAM, I'm trying not to curse y'all. I'm trying to be better at that. Kamala Harris, the paradoxical political pandering is tired and insulting to the constituency that supported you, along with affirming the doubts of those that didn't. You ain't got to affirm us. We were already affirmed. Please fix this exceptionally. So she begging Kamala Harris to fix this. Baby, this is part of who she is. During the Harris 2020 presidential candidate run, Seals have often advocated for a candidate, using her social media platform to encourage all supporters to go out and vote, despite the hesitancy many reserved for the now vice president. Harris' record as top prosecutor in San Francisco and then California before being elected to U.S. Senate from the state was one of the issues of the black community that the black community had with her as presidential candidate. Still, Seals promoted Harris. The 39-year-old even once wrote on Twitter, "Stop saying Kamala Harris is just as bad as Donald Trump," in response to those who did not favor Harris. She added, "Just stop. SHIT is not accurate or helpful or knowing it's blank." So you see it right here. See, some people don't want to hear the truth. The fact of the matter is, Donald Trump, horrible as he is, let me just be honest. President was not his thing. Politics is not your thing, Donald Trump. You were being a crook as a real estate agent. So you figure out, I'm a real estate crook, I'll probably be just as good as a real estate political figure. But let's be truthful. On record, Kamala Harris is worse than Trump when it comes to legislation, especially when it comes to community awareness, especially when it comes to protecting the cops, especially when it comes to pushing Blue Lives Matter. She was harder than Trump on Blue Lives Matter. And that's just a fact. Go look at the records. But you got people who don't want to hear this. I got people close to me who don't want to hear this. And it's not that I'm trying, I'm a Trump supporter, none of that crap. It's just based on facts. It's just based on data. You look at her record of covering up for police. She was just as bad as that young Republican brother over there in Kentucky that's trying to cover up for Breonna. She was doing the same thing he did, but because she's a Democrat, nobody wanted to point that out because don't say that. We got to get rid of Trump. You gonna mess it up for her. She messed it up for her. People just point out the obvious. Shh, don't say nothing. See, that's what Democratic Party will do. They want you to say all you can about a Republican, but don't want you to say anything about a Democrat that's doing the same crap. Still, Seal's remark garnered mixed reaction from many. While some agreed with the actress and were equally stunned at Harris' statement, many either condemned Seal's critique of Harris or reiterated their anti-Harris belief. Why you gotta call it anti-Harris belief? This ain't got nothing to do with Harris. Harris made some bad decisions, some horrible decisions, but she still say they were great decisions. Joe Biden made some bad decisions, some horrible decisions, but he still said they great decisions. What's dumb and embarrassed is a BW who claimed to advocate for blackness, or let's BW stand for black woman, who advocate for blackness, demeaning this black woman based on Splice 12-second clip. If you knew a dang thing about our VP, you know she been among the loudest to speak on America's Achilles heel is racism. The user concluded her post by telling the former Real host to think next time. So let me bring myself back up. These people who are trying to get mad at her, Amanda Seals, for realizing some things that a lot of people in the black community already knew about Kamala Harris, but you got these double down Democratic loyalists, ride or die. I call it blue MAGA. They just as bad as red MAGAs. Ride or die for these people, just like red MAGA ride or die for Trump. What's dumb and is barren is you're a black woman who claims to advocate for black women. These are people who got on her. Let me end this because I'm going too long on this one. Let me bring myself up. There's a lot of people who went bodyguard hard for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And now you're starting to see some things that don't look well to you. And you hurt because it makes you look bad because you know the Black Grass Movement was right about these people. And let me tell you something. It's just the beginning. We're not even in year one yet. We got 3 more years of this. This is just starting. You're going to start seeing who they really are. See, some of us we realize what you've done in the past is destined to repeat in the future. And if you haven't truly repented for what you did in the past and doing whatever you can to make up for it, because folks ain't going to let that go. Some of the stuff that they did is still affecting the black community to this day. And they're not going to let that go until they do something about it. That was the whole point of you're not getting my support until you get on record that you're going to do something about this and aggressively start the process, put it in your platform while you're running for office. They didn't want to do that. They lied to Ice Cube. Oh, we gonna meet with you after the election. Let's just don't be talking about this contract with Black America right now because you're gonna mess it up for Joe Biden. Called him a Trump supporter. That man ain't never said he supported Trump Fat Joe. That man ain't never said he supported Trump. He just said, I supported the politicians coming to us, making some changes on behalf of us if they want our support. They've been getting freebie votes for too long. Now, Amanda Seal, a person who mocked the black grassroots, trying to tell us to shut up, don't talk about reparation, don't talk about Joe Biden's crime bill, all because she wanted to get Trump out so fast, so bad, that she was willing to put a nicer version of Trump in a nice suit with some decorum that actually have black friends. Now she's starting to feel embarrassed when they start to say things out of their mouth. Remember what I said, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speak. Joe Biden don't just be saying those gaffes. The reason Joe Biden say racist gaffes, have racist gaffes, because Joe Biden has been a long-term bigot in the Democratic Party. Just like Trump has always been a bigot. And as Forrest Gump say, big it is as big it does, or big it does as big it is, whatever. You are who you are. You can surround yourself with black people. You can have black people even push you to the top. That's what black people did for Lyndon Baines Johnson. Still a bigot, still a racist. Yes, he pushed some progressive legislation on behalf of immigration, but that don't mean he like you. He's still the same old racist Texas bigot that he's always been. You could change a leopard. I mean, you can put a lipstick on a pig. Still a pig. And then you got people that want to scold her because she's criticizing Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. You fools who don't think... Black people will never get far in life if you are not willing to critique your own. You criticize your children. I don't criticize my children. Well, you correct them. Let's call it what it is. You correct them. And you can't correct a politician. You can't set one of your own straight. You can do that with your children, but you can't do that with a politician. Miss me with that. See, the black grass movement has graduated beyond this partyism crap. Either you're going to do for the black community or step the heck out my face. And they're not going to sit there and let you scald them because they take that strong position and you ain't got the guts or balls, ovaries or whatever to take that strong position. If you ain't got it, if you can't take that position because you fear the Republicans or you fear the Trump, and you're not equally fearing people in the Democratic Party who don't really have your back. People talk about Andrew Gillum. None of these Democrats wanted Andrew Gillum to run for office. They wanted Bob Graham's daughter to run for office. But once he got that position, because he ran anyway, thanks to Justice Democrat and our revolution, he got that support. Then everybody comes to Andrew Gillum. Now everybody, Andrew Gillum got nothing out of that deal. Look where he's at now. Trying to revitalize himself. Trying to Anthony Weiner himself. Nobody wanted Ayanna Pressley. The Democratic Party did not want Ayanna Pressley. They shunned her. They wanted another Kennedy to take that position. Nobody wanted Barack Obama to run for office. The Democratic Party hated and loathed Barack Obama. Barack Obama had to use aggression. He had to use a strategy to make them come to him. They wanted Hillary Clinton. That's racism in the Democratic Party. You have to put them to that. You got to put these people in a position where they have to bend the knee because of your leverage. Obama ended up getting leverage. I'm gonna end this. My whole point is this. Let me bring this back up. Amanda Seals caught the vapors. She was shaming her own people who were making a demand for their vote, calling them all kind of names, telling them to shut the blank up, stop this SHIT, and you got a lot of people were doing that. And these people who were doing that was only doing that because they realized who has the true power. And once we realize how much power we got, we can make the Democratic Party bend to our knee, make the Republican Party, the Green Party, or whatever. We can make them all bend to our knee because they realize how powerful our block is, how powerful our vote is. The problem with us is we're showing allegiance to these people stupidly, blindly. Instead of showing allegiance to our people. You crap on your people all for the sake of a party that's still staunch in white supremacy and bigotry. They just a little more lighter. Bud Light Bud regular. It's still beer. Still drink enough of that stuff, your stomach gonna get big. The vapors are gonna continue to hit people because we're only in year one. Let me see who's up here. What's up, Luca? What's up, man? Hey, it's been a while, brother. Karen, always. Thank you for your support. Hey, Pat, I haven't seen you up here in a while. G5, thank you for the super chat. Let me get my face back up here. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And for all the others who decided to do it through the preferred way, which is the PayPal account, because we don't want, YouTube. YouTube is horrible. But I thank you for your support. I really appreciate it, G5. Black Cherubim, what's up? He said, nobody studied the Asian hate crime. You're right. There was no study. They got what little statistic they got from the FBI, which I believe is skewed. So, Western God, how you doing? Yeah, I'm sick of this crap too. I'm going to say this and I'm gone. We as a people have been through hell and high water. And I thank God for immigrants who understand the hell and high water. Heck, they had to go through the hell and high water when they came here doing Jim Crow. Jim Crow, as bad as it was nothing compared to chattel slavery. Reparations should be given just for chattel slavery alone. There's levels to reparation. And you guys are sitting on us just for mentioning it. You got chattel slavery, you got Jim Crow. You got the 93, the new Jim Crow, the crime bill, and people who've been affected from that, mostly black people. All of these are direct attacks to a race of people from our own federal government. And you got people like our current president who initiated that attack through legislation. So when we're caught, as Nina Turner said, between a turd and a piece of SH, you don't just go with both of them still turds. But what you could do is say, look, like Martin Luther King did, I don't like you. You're racist and you're a bigot, just like the rest of these people running, just like your opponent is a racist and bigot. Lyndon B. Johnson. Your opponent is a racist, but we realize you're a racist. Okay, all right. You want our support? This is what you got to do. And Lyndon B. Johnson was smart enough to at least listen to Martin Luther King, even though he couldn't stand his guts. And that didn't change. That didn't change up to the time that he died. But at least he listened. Why? Because Martin Luther King was smart enough to say, we don't care how bad of a bigot you are and how horrible you are for this country. You want our support? This is what you're going to have to do to get it. It's a doggone shame. Again, how do you move forward in the future? Is learn from the past. Stop letting these numbnuts talk you out of your position of strength. Black people, you are on a cusp of getting major change done for the black community. And the only way you can do that is by stop showing allegiance to these political alliances or these political parties or political leaders. Stop showing allegiance to them and force them to show you allegiance first before you show them allegiance. As long as you got my back, I will have your back. But if you ain't got my back, get out my face. And believe me, I'm going to check you if you really got my back. Because I don't want you to sit here and act like you got one hand on my back, but behind yours there's a knife or a gun. And based on your record, you've been knifing and gunning me for a long time. Now you want to repent. And now you got black people on your side saying, forgive him, forgive him, forgive him, forgive him. Nah, it ain't about him. It's about us. You want us to have your back? You better start having our back right now. And we need tangibles to prove that you got it. No tangibles, no support. Well, I'm Robert Bobby Brown, Bob TV of the Bobby Brown Show on the GO. I want to thank everybody for tuning in for this quick one. It wasn't that quick, but I got stuff to do. I'm out of here. I'll holler at you later. And always remember this: if you have not made a mark on this world that cannot be erased, you can start today. And I can't say good morning and good night. All I can say is good afternoon. I love you, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.